Hello guys, this is research and analysis Ryan, and today I would like to tell you a very beautiful story about the deserter. Of course, it sounds like he is deserted, we do not respect him, but still, I personally love the story. It is the story of Legionnaire P.R. Garishan. We learn something about the French Foreign Legion with this story. I want to advise you guys to listen to this story, okay? Deserting is never-ending process. It is a threat to French Foreign Legion, especially in the international places. So this is the story which happened in Algeria. Legionnaire P.R. Garishan with his comrades, Oruk and Heats. These three guys planned to desert. So this guy started looking at the moon, the North Pole. They started going further on the mountains. This guy looked at the North Pole on the compass and they headed towards the north from the different kind of mountains. They left their camp and they took some food and they planned to desert. Finally, they found a place in the dense forest. They fall down, they were hurted because it was a dark mountain. Even they were about to die at some point. In Algeria, big mountains, and it was very difficult. Finally, they reached to a point where they really wanted to halt. They halt in there. They started putting the fire for the lights. They put the light. They started eating the food which they had. And the nights are especially very cold in Algeria. So they put some branches and put the fire to get some heat. And they slept in the night. And the day it's too hot. Algeria can be really hot. And in the night the temperature drops down. So these guys plan to travel in the night so that they cannot be seen by the Arabs. Okay, the Algerian Arabs, because they knew they had the problems. They had to hide with the French army as well as they had to hide with the Arabs. So there were two kinds of enemies they had at some point, because deserters are considered, they are killed by the Arabs. At that time, if you see a legionnaire being deserted, the Arabs kill them. So they plan to reach Oran and sail through the boat to the Mediterranean Sea. This is the height of the craziness. Like, they were so desperate to come out of the legion, to get out of the legion. So men travels so far to get into the legion, and then they become so curious to get out of the legion that they are even ready to die at some point. Imagine these guys are taking risk, and if they are seen by the Arabs, it's gonna be big torture and big death. In the night time, they were awakened by the cold and the heat was already off. The fire was off. As the dusk fallen, they again traveled in the night. They again started walking in the night. Again, before a daybreak, they started a little fire to get some rest. All of a sudden, they started feeling some dangers. So one of the comrades started giving warnings that possibly there are Arabs who are watching them. They just started looking above the river and they started seeing two Arabs approaching them. So imagine, now if Arabs catch them, they're gonna kill these deserters. They started running, they jumped into the river and they started following the river. They just ran from this area. One of the legionnaires was laughing because imagine them, deserter's mind. He found it so funny that he started laughing. No one can laugh on this kind of scene. They were laughing just because they had some little bread and they could wet it, so they will have no food. This is the reason they were laughing. Finally, they reached to a slippery bank. They were too exhausted to travel more. They could go no further. They saw some Arabs again, and this deserter, one of the deserter, started removing the handkerchief, and the Arab thought that he's removing a revolver. And afterwards, the legionnaires, these deserters, tried to make some friendly signs, and this way the problem was less at that time. They were too much hungry, and this was the kind of village they reached, and a woman and some children were approaching them. They were too hungry to start asking for food. So the deserters make them understand that they were really hungry and asked them some food. Probably now was the time that even French army was looking. The French Foreign Legion was looking to them. Where are these guys? Each time desert happens, been alarmed everywhere, even to the Arab police. So this happens, and these Arab women, they feed them, and all of a sudden the leaded guys of the village, they had some kind of meeting together, and they did not really agree to leave this guy. So the two rural guys took these deserters with them, and they had some kind of gun. Deserters really thought that they are going to be killed. There's no way to escape from this. So they were taken to a route, and all of a sudden they hear the voice. The rural guy says, "You can leave, go to the north, run away." And they can't believe their ears that this happened, and they were just left. To kill one deserter, to kill an enemy is considered good in the Arab society, and they were awarded 25 francs from the military. So the deserter proceeded and they reached to a small village called Anfekan, to a very little town called Anfekan. They saw a little cafe and they went inside the cafe they ordered many things from inside, and all of a sudden someone grabs them like this. It was a rural policeman, again catching them. But the rural policeman understood that they are deserters, and he also understood that let them eat because they are hungry. And the policeman already called to the police station that he has caught these guys. So they were taken to the police headquarters, and the military authorities claimed that these guys are deserters. Next morning, these three deserters were chained together and they were taken to the gendarmes. And they arrived to Saida. Saida is a place, it's a camp, a military. There they were placed in the cells together. They were interrogated there, what exactly happened with them and why they are deserted. So a lot of things happens, they went into the truck, and this truck took him to a village, a very weird village, in which they thought that the Arabs guy could really kill them. So what they decided is to proceed further, and they were so hungry, they were so thirsty. Now they thought that they made a mistake, and they handed themselves to the gendarmes. Gendarmerie, the local police station. So they were chained together back, and they were sent back again to Saida from the place where they got the truck, and they moved to this town. I mean, so crazy. Again they come back to Saida. This was a second attempt. They had the three plannings to desert, but this was the second real attempt to desert. So in Saida, they received 28 days punishment of imprisonment. They completed the imprisonment, and after the completion of the imprisonment, the surgeon gave them offer to get the foreign services for Indochina. The name of the place is Tonkin. The legionnaires, they said yes to the offers, and they were more than happy to do it. And they really felt regretted of what they have done. All the French Foreign Legion gave him a lot of chance. So this is a very beautiful story. The surgeon said him that still trust the guys. For the French flag, they could still feel their blood. This made them really happy. So these guys were sent to Oran, and in Oran they headed towards they marched themselves to the tent. And at that time it was a big applaud. Viva l'armée, viva l'armée, viva l'armée. Applaud from everywhere. And these deserters felt very successful at that time. They felt whatever happened was haywire, and they were also confessing their guilt. They said that they were a bit mean. They were really motivated and really positive this time. So in Oran also, in Oran too, he says in the book that 50 guys tried to desert, and they were given chance to go out of the place, go out of the regiment. After some time, these deserters also, they were given chance to go out, but they did not desert this time, although other people deserted. So this way the guy completed service, and it's a very beautiful story. So guys, I'll be giving you a lot of stories and ideas. Do subscribe this channel. Have a great time. Thank you.